now. Oh, everybody acting different now. Finally trying to see what I be on. Got a different style, they be at the brand new when they know I've been around. Got a fake smile on your face cause you've been inclined. I can say a lot, but I'm not. Gotta keep it down, making sure nobody drown. I'm my brother, keep it now. Mike Jack hit me up and said I gotta beat it down.
Originally opened in 1995 as Jacksonville Municipal Stadium when this franchise entered the NFL. We welcome you to Jacksonville and TIAA Bank Field. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. This taken in at the goal line. And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line. Right off the bat, here's Pickett to throw it. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A former Seminole back home in Florida. It's Dalvin Cook. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
And this one complete to Doolin. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
On 2nd down, Cook. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 29-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. First down, here's the run with Cook. A solid stiff arm. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Cook is into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. So he had the nice run to get him down there. Was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now Jones. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. So Charles already down 7-0 early. They opt to take a shot there on the first play of scrimmage, but that plan backfires.
That feels a little bit like last week's loss lingering into this game, doesn't it? You know, you're down 7 already. You lost last week. It's almost like they're trying to get it all back in one shot, trying to take a big chunk play right out of the gate.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable 2nd down.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 2 straight runs of 5 yards, 1st and 10.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Pickett now to throw off the play fake. They'll roll him out right. And complete right side to Cook. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts first down. A good throw there, and this is a quarterback who's still just getting his feet wet, obviously. And by most accounts, last week played okay in the victory. But I want to know, Charles, what was your impression of his play last week?
Brandon, I think a lot of teams will be happy with okay, and early on, it's less about how many touchdowns did he throw, but did he not throw interceptions? Did he handle adversity? Did he handle the huddle? Those types of things. That's what people are looking for.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside. If my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing the coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Throwing Jones. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. I was waiting for them to get there first because the momentum they carry from last week, unbelievable. They had a snowman, 8 sacks.
You were surprised that it took this long, and this isn't that long, truthfully. But here's the thing. If you've seen that on tape, your offensive line, is going to have to ask for help. Tight end has to stay in. If you use a fullback, keep him in. Make sure you have extra people.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Able to pick up a dozen yards there on the scramble, but not enough. 4th down. Blake Gillikin on to punt here as he'll send this one away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah, this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now a first carry for their fullback. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man you can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
Left side, Cook. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 96 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
Here's Cook again. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield, picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Up the middle, it's Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
They run the play fake. Here's Pickett. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Oh, he this one out to the right. That's a bad miss. No good. And the lead will hold at 10. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. From the 24, Jones. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
6 yards to go.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Jones. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. He'll get that out to the flat to White. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Christian Watson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars have got it back to within a score. Prater for the extra point. That'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This one fielded at the 5. And he returns this to the 22. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. These two teams, division rivals, of course, and you remember back to Week 18 last year, although Colts fans don't want to remember back to Week 18 last year. The Colts needed a win. And the Jags, they were kind of looking ahead to 2022. But the 2-win Jags came up with one of the shockers of the season. They stunned the Colts 26-11 in Jacksonville. And that loss ultimately kept Indianapolis home for the playoffs. He's going to try and go deep again. He's got him in, complete. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. In motion right is Wilson. Off play action. Pickett. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Third and long for Pickett. He's going to look deep now for Landry. He rifles one that's intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. Third and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said, 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
He's got a man complete. He's at the 30, 10, 5, touchdown, Jaguars. Christian Watson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Jaguars have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Extra point good by Prater. And the lead is now 14-10. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And a short pickup to about the 25. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jones. Right side to Watson. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Jones now to throw on 3rd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. That is a tough way to start the third quarter. You get the football, hoping to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 135 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They run the counter with Cook. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up first and goal.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They'll run with Cook. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Dalvin Cook with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Colts have retaken a third-quarter lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 17-14. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Opting to run again here with White. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jones. Now he's going to send this one deep right side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He finds Watson complete. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. And this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. They run straight ahead here with White. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Off play action. Jones. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Monte Nicholson picks it. And the Colts are going to take over here up near the 40. And that could turn out to be a giant play, Charles. You've got an offense driving to take the lead, but they're turned away on the INT.
And I think that we might look back on this in the 4th quarter and say, that was the play of the game.
They start the drive with Cook. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Cook up the gut. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Here we go. It's Pickett on 4th down.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. A check of the scoreboard there in the 3rd and Baltimore. And the Ravens have opened things up there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, we'll see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Here's Jones on 3rd and 2.
He'll dump this one off here to White. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
A little surprise pays off on 3rd and 1. Pass instead of run. Gets him 15 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. He's going to have the hook up to Gage.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. And just a yard to go here on 2nd down.
Off the play fake. Jones. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Frank Clark in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
And another long drive from the offense, but the defense is denying them the end zone. Nothing to show for the last drive offensively. They can't come away empty-handed again.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Fabian Moreau. And the Colts are going to have it here at their own 15. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Again, it's Cook. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Third and 2, Pickett. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football. Well, holding on to the lead at this stage in the second half, those are the types of plays you really want to try and stay away from.
And when you're a rookie, keeping your focus is something that you still have to work on all the time because there's so many distractions around you between the crowd noise and your coaches.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Zamir White with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Jaguars have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Prater for the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Getting the ball is Cook, running left. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Looking to throw, Pickett. Oh, it's intercepted. They got Pickett for the 3rd time in this game. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think, okay, he's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's...
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
197 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run it again with Cook. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped. They were looking good on 2nd down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. Cook following the penalty. That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with his 4-point fourth-quarter lead.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Pickett, 4th down, desperation time.
And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They keep it on the ground. White again. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter. Do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Now Jones.
Throwing middle, and it's complete.
And he will have a Jaguars 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
In this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you can hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. They'll go up the middle with White. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. First down, here's White. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So this will be a win for Jacksonville, and it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they could pick up the fumble or get the interception. And we saw it pay off in this one here.
Yeah, 5 times. They'll remember this one. So for the Jaguars, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs.